If you like a good movie and love a tasty treat, you could win one of 3 HD flat screen TVs. This is your chance to snack, watch, and win. Buy a 3-pack of Act 2 popcorn or a 10-ounce Crunch and Munch, plus a Hershey's milk chocolate or cookies and cream bar. Write your name and number on the back of the receipt. Drop it off at Pritchard's, Robinson Road, or Cale Bahamas, Marathon Mall. Then order a movie from Rev TV On Demand, Channel 500, for your chance to snack, watch, and win. Enter today. Promotion ends August 30th.
A Royal Bahamas Defense Force officer reportedly takes his own life.
Where they found the male hanging from the ceiling.
Teenagers using cough medicine as a drug. Could your kids be doing it? Tonight, NB12 takes a look at this disturbing trend.
It's more popular with the younger persons. I think they associate that with the rappers that they see on television.
Repairs to the damaged airport road nearing completion, plus a parade of beauties through the city center. We've got those stories and more for you tonight. I'm Nakia DeVoe, and this is NB12 Weekend. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us this Saturday here at Cable 12 Studios. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force and a family in mourning today after a Marine allegedly committed suicide last night. The RBDF officer reportedly hanged himself in his own home. A family member made the heartbreaking discovery when they entered the 41-year-old victim's Fire Trail Road apartment last night.
Our initial information revealed that family members arrived home shortly after 7 this evening, where they found the male hanging from the ceiling.
The man, identified by family members as 16-year Defense Force veteran, leading mechanic Shiniere Wilkinson, hanged himself from a ceiling fan in the hallway of the apartment. Family members and friends appeared shocked by what happened. Our news team was on scene as Wilkinson's body was taken away. Investigators processed the scene for a few hours last night. However, Assistant Commissioner of Police Anthony Ferguson could not say how long the body had been hanging there or provide any other details.
The circumstances surrounding this death is not clear, and so we have an active investigation ongoing at the moment.
In a statement this afternoon, Royal Bahamas Defense Force Commander Commodore Roderick Bowe extended sincere condolences to Wilkinson's family, loved ones, and friends on behalf of the officers, warrant officers, and Marines of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. The RBDF described Wilkinson as a quiet, competent, and committed Marine who enlisted in the Defense Force as a member of New Entry 32 and Woman Entry 6 in April 1997. The RBDF said Wilkinson served in numerous departments, including Engineering, Harbor Patrol Unit, and recently the Supply Department. The statement said his presence shall be greatly missed by members of the Defense Force who now mourn his loss. A popular Friday night hangout spot was the scene of a deadly shooting overnight. Gunshots rang out at Potter's Key Dock around 12 this morning, hitting 3 men ages 21, 24, and 49. Those men were taken to hospital. However, the 21-year-old died from his injuries. The other 2 men are still in serious condition. Now, no word on whether the men were the intended targets or whether they were hit by stray bullets. Police say they're investigating. This is a very interesting story that you may want to pay close attention to. A warning from the Bahamas Pharmacy Council has made a product containing low doses of the narcotic drug codeine more difficult for Bahamian consumers who are actually sick to buy. That's because they say an alarming number of consumers, particularly teenagers, are abusing the drug. They're making something called syrup that is potentially life-threatening. Paige McCartney tells us how the pharmacy industry is cracking down on a practice that has infiltrated the circles of many young people in the Bahamas.
Pharmacists have in recent months had to take this over-the-counter drug off of store shelves and make it pharmacy only because they've noticed a trend with Bahamians abusing the drug, mixing it with other products to form a concoction that gives them a high. But they warn that this can be very dangerous and in some cases even fatal. The abusers appear to take their cues from U.S. hip-hop artists who for years have glorified the sipping syrup, a mixture of the highly potent over-the-counter drug codeine phosphate with alcohol or soda to achieve a high. Now the trend has made its way here, where pharmacists say they've noticed an uptick for at least 2 years now. However, prescription parlor pharmacy owner and pharmacist Laura Pratt-Charlton said the abuse has gotten out of hand in the past several months. So much so that the Bahamas Pharmacy Council mandated all drug retailers and wholesalers to move the drug behind the counter, even though a prescription is not needed to purchase it. Pratt-Charlton said while older Bahamians are also abusing the drug, a record number of children and teenagers have been attempting to buy codeine phosphate in the form of Codeine because it's now a popular thing to do.
It's more popular with the younger persons. I think they associate that with the rappers that they see on televisions who have made this whole concoction so popular now, and they're identifying with them and they are curious and they're trying. So it's mainly young persons, but we do have older persons using it or abusing it as well.
Pratt-Charlton said the practice of mixing a concoction with a Codeine or a similar cough syrup is fairly old, but recently became popular again because of songs by popular rap artist Lil Wayne, who was hospitalized and near death earlier this year after drinking what is believed to be the same drink mixture containing codeine phosphate.
In the U.S., a concoction is a combination of a product called Phenergan with codeine, which is an antihistamine and the codeine mix. They mix it with a sweet carbonated drink, usually Sprite, Mountain Dew, and then they add the Jolly Rancher to it again for some sweetening, and that's what they usually use in the U.S. Here, the Phenergan with codeine is not available, so they've gotten a little innovative and started to use the Tuscasad, similarly mixing it with sweet drinks, carbonated drinks, the Jolly Ranchers or sweet candies, mixing that up, and they're drinking it to give them this feeling of euphoria or high, whatever it is they're getting from it.
Already this year in the United States, there have been several deaths attributed to the concoction and just as many near-death cases. That's why local pharmacists are warning about the serious dangers of consuming this mixture or abusing any other over-the-counter drug. She said, while many cough syrups can be harmless and even helpful to an ill person once taken according to the recommended dosage, these concoctions sometimes contain 10 times or more the recommended dosage, which can cause severe health complications.
You'll find that you get the respiratory conditions where persons have difficulties breathing, hyperventilation. They can actually have cardiac arrest. So it can go from something minor as just feeling high or something as serious as death. And it's important for us as healthcare professionals to stress to the public that the use of this concoction for anyone, be it young kids or the adults, is very serious.
Like we mentioned, local pharmacists have been advised to make Codeine pharmacy only, which means customers must obtain it from the pharmacist rather than off the shelves, and must now be over the age of 18 to purchase it. Pratt-Charlton said this and other measures are helping curb the abuse.
It gives us an opportunity to be able to monitor how much is given at a time, who it's being given to, and recognize those persons who are the abusers, the frequent customers coming in and asking for it, to the point where we even actually ask persons for identification. and you have them sign to say they would have received it. Even times we have to put names into the actual computer, so that helps us to monitor the use of the product as well. So the pharmacists have actually taken control of these products, and it's now only being issued to persons from a pharmacy.
And finally, tell me what would happen if you notice that there's a person who was just here last week, bought a bottle of Tuscased, and they're here again this week, and they're coming back maybe a few days later trying to buy 3 and 4 bottles. What do the pharmacists do?
Okay, as a pharmacist, we have to intervene, and we have to, in other words, counsel with the patients, find out exactly what is it that they're taking the medication for, and see how best we can help them probably to switch to something else that's not as dangerous, and determine whether it is a case of abuse or whether it's a case of necessity. And if it is abuse, then we'd have to recommend that they seek help, because it is very addictive, and like I said, it's very fatal.
Well, despite this effort to control the drug Tuscadent, Pratt Charlton said customers have found other on-shelf, over-the-counter drugs to use as a replacement, but she warns they can be just as dangerous as Tuscadent. She advises that if you or anyone you know is abusing this drug, you should seek professional help from a therapist. She's also warning parents to monitor their children's behavior and whether they are buying excessive amounts of cough or cold syrup. Pratt Charlton said just because the drugs are not illegal doesn't mean they can't be abused. The Bahamas Pharmacy Council is hoping that products containing more than 10 milligrams of codeine phosphate be made prescription only. For NB12, I'm Paige McCarthy.
Well, imagine running into the person accused of killing your loved one in the store, on the street, or anywhere when you thought he or she was in prison. Well, President of Families of All Murder Victims, Candy Gibson, says this is not only a fear, but a reality for many families in the Bahamas. Gibson says that she is only one of many people who have found out that their loved one's accused murderer was out on bail. She said the latest case was reported to the group just a few weeks ago.
Please notify the family member. In fact, I feel that they should be present, have the family member come and talk to the family member. Hey, John Doe is charged for assaulting, attacking, or even murdering your loved one. He applied for bail, or he is getting bail today.
Gibson says families of murder victims are entitled to be informed if any bail is granted and of any special conditions placed on the accused designed to protect family members. She says they are often in fear for their lives, as many of them are threatened by the accused. This, she says, is even more reason for them to be notified when the accused even applies for bail.
Being a victim's family member is not easy, because sometimes you're threatened, you're even attacked by just wanting justice for your loved one. We have persons going to court to watch the perpetrator that is accused for their loved one's murder. When they go to court, they're threatened, they're attacked. My whole life has changed. From my route to work has changed. From me having protection, it has changed. One time ago, I will never see myself with cameras or security bars.
Gibson claims that when she called the Attorney General's office to find out why a family was not notified about a recent bail application, she was told that officers from the Central Detective Unit were notified and were supposed to notify family members. Gibson said that the matter is far too serious for any carelessness or breakdown in communication.
Give the urban renewal a list. Let them have a list. If it's a problem, give form a list. Let us know what's going on, because we're families of murder victims. That means a person in a group, family member will have been murdered. Let us contact the families. If it's such a strenuous job for the AG office to do it, and the raw families for it.
Minister of National Security Dr. Bernard Nottage revealed that 49 people charged with murder were released on bail between May 2012 and June 16th of 2013. More accused murderers have been granted bail since then. However, those numbers have not yet been released.